Greetings everyone, it's great to have you back here on the channel for more hype plays submitted by summoners around the world. This episode features a little cameo at the end by a good friend of ours and excellent content creator, Poqito. Between now and then we have 5 amazing plays to get through, so let's get started with a master tier play from Alt Lime on LeBlanc. As a reminder, the preseason came out recently, so after today's episode, most plays featured should be from the new patch, but they might be mixed in with some older plays for a little while until we get more plays from the preseason. Jumping back to this play, the enemy team just got a great catch in the mid lane, leaving red team outnumbered, so they have to give up mid. Olaf's coming up soon, so she knows the enemy team will probably end up rotating to red buff, and that's when she plans to make her move. Right as Shyvana rotates, she emerges, flash WRing the entire backline, followed by her QE for the instant triple, and then she dodges Dinah's Q to get back in for the quad. LeBlanc's exhausted all of her cooldowns, so she chases until the timing's right to finish off Shyvana for the pentakill, all made possible by some great timing and pre-fight positioning. Coming in at 4th place for today's episode, we have Uncle Fat Panda with a beastly turnaround play when odds are against them. They've already lost their support, and the enemy team are in the process of also getting Kha'Zix, so Yasuo and friends are waiting for them to eventually group back at mid. Jinx wants to get some poke down, but ends up taking too much herself, leaving Yasuo and Azir in a 2v4. He gets one stack of his Q, cutting back until he has to turn, getting the second stack on the way there, and then he win walls while queuing for the 4-man last breath as Azir flies in for the follow-up ult. As 3, they were able to salvage a pretty awful looking team fight and turn it into a good win for red team. Fantastic setup from Yasuo, picking up a crucial second stack of his Q while sliding his way into position for the knockup. Next in our lineup, we have Crystonic on Wukong, who steps up to make a game-winning play in the heart of the mid-game. The enemy team have grouped up, so he's waiting in the fog of war in case anything goes down or to look for a surprise engage. Out of nowhere, the enemy Nami hits her bubble on Kalista, so he knows they're all about to move up, and he's in the perfect spot to counter. He eases onto Nami, but then instantly goes invis, walking around the Nami ult before popping Cyclone for the 5-man knockup into last breath. Orianna also gets a 3-man follow-up shockwave, and just like that, the enemy team's in full retreat, only Nami surviving. Thanks to the engage from Wukong, they get 4 kills for Num plus the Baron, which is a huge advantage in the favor of red team. Landing in at 2nd place, we have Ermi on Bard with another epic setup that carries the fight. I love support plays, and Bard is to be one of my favorites to watch because of how hype his kit is, but let's turn our focus to blue team as they set up shop in the top lane. The friendly Kindred gets caught by Rammus, but a quick Crucible gets her out before the laser pokes her down. Both teams attack who they can as Rammus pulls back to the tower, but he sees an opening and throws out an insane Tempered Fate, hitting everyone plus the tower. Keep your eye on Kassadin as he times a beautiful Rift Walk into a Z on everyone, causing the fight to erupt, but they still have Kindred ult, so they start to gain ground. His team's in position to dive, so he puts up the magical journey, meeting them on the other side to help clean up. So far, they picked up 4 kills, trading only Kindred's life, and thanks to the meeps, Bard can stick to Lux and help secure the ace. Irelia sadly dies to a small misstep, but a 2-for-5 exchange plus inhib gives blue team a ton of momentum to close out this game. And for our number 1 pro play for this week, we have Axe on Zed, and a quick shout out to his buddy X Frozen, who submitted the play and is the Riven on his team. The game's dead even and they're down a teammate, but Azir tries to engage them under tower, not getting the knockback angle he wanted, but at least he hit multiple people for some good damage. Riven is full health and leads the charge, closing the gap slowly with the mobility from Deadman's plate, so the enemy team know they have to turn and fight. Ahri connects the charm, so the engage gets a little wonky here, and Zed doesn't really see an opening yet, so he stays nearby and pokes with the shadow. His team is losing the fight horribly, and Azir looks like he wants to fight this out, so Zed turns, ulting onto Ahri and immediately E-flashing away, and as they chase, a great double shuriken kills Fiora and helps Deathmark finish Ahri. He swaps back, juking them as he waits for the perfect time to Q from the shadow for the quad, and then he red smites Leona to take reduced damage. If it weren't for the red smite, he would have died by now as he swaps out by the skin of his teeth, just barely dodging Leona's W. He thinks he's fine to recall here, but Leona comes around the bend, so he runs away, ending this intense play with style. And for our bonus clip of the week, we have Great Tiger on Kha'Zix, and today we have a special guest to bring us a thorough breakdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Poqito. Welcome. I have been instructed by the Overlord Potato Heads to give you a detailed play-by-play report into what happens to this team. We're going to break this down step by step, ladies and gentlemen, step by step, to make sure you understand what Oh, they got wrecked. Well, I guess my job here is done. I hope that you've enjoyed this in-depth analysis. Thanks, guys.
Camping that brush was, a bit regrettable, but thanks Poqito for gracing us with some wonderful play-by-play. This guy makes awesome content and is one of my favorite personalities out there, so I think you guys would fall in love if you got to see him in his element. I'll include links to both his YouTube and Twitch down below in the description box, and here's an annotation to make it a bit easier. Before we head out, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor Loot Crate, because there's only a few days left before you miss out on November's crate, which is Theme Combat. Looks like there's going to be some Blizzard products in the crate, probably Overwatch related, as well as Fallout 4, so check out the link to that down below as well. Don't forget you can get 10% off if you use the code Potato1, and I promise you won't regret signing up for this service. Super high quality stuff. Thanks again for watching, thanks to Poqito for hopping on our show, and I'll see you back here next time for more League of Legends Top 5 plays.